There's two avenues to wealth acquisition. There's making and there's taking.
Mm-hmm.
To the extent that you cannot engage in taking, if I can't take stuff from people, I'm left with no other option than to go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make something, trade with people. So the game we've been playing is trying to reduce the incentives toward taking in our symbolic structure so we can tilt people towards making.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had something like that, that was like actual inviolable property, an indestructible symbolic structure that would maximally amplify the individual will to power, all of a sudden people would be able to go out and to the best of their abilities, create what they want for themselves in the world with the limiting principle of other people's will to power, right? You can't tread on other people to take their stuff. So everyone's almost, they're sovereign, right? This is the sovereign individual idea. And I would say that indestructible symbolic structure like that is absolutely necessary to maximize human freedom. Mm-hmm. We have to have a symbolic structure to the extent that it's not corruptible. It lasts longer over time. It produces more wealth. It creates more satisfaction of human wants. It increases the carrying capacity of the planet, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you have a will to power, which you do if you're alive and listening to this, you would want this as a thing. And again, I think that's what the US was an attempt at, right? We tried to create this decentralized, less corruptible governance mechanism with checks and balances intrinsic to it, such that it would resist corruption. But I think also that is what Bitcoin is. It's the closest thing to an indestructible symbolic structure we've ever had.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These are rules that cannot be twisted or broken for private gain. It's essentially, and it's paradoxical in a lot of ways, but it's essentially this public utility used to facilitate the transfer of private property. Like two things we never thought we could get into one bucket, and we somehow have. Rules that can't be changed. It's based on a purely opt-in, opt-out social consensus. Nothing, there's no coercion in it whatsoever. There's nothing hidden, right? There's not even the opportunity for information asymmetry because it's open source technology. So towards this idea which we've been working, I think Bitcoin is the greatest reach yet. Yeah, what we're talking about, I mean, Bitcoin is a global decentralized organization. It's the first of its kind, right? So it's a leaderless, CEO-less organization, and it has a gigantic market cap. It's been stunningly successful in what it set out to do. And to your point, the individuals inside of that network are maximally sovereign or individually empowered. Their will to power is being honored such that they don't suffer kings, right? There's not an opportunity for political authorities to rise to power as much in a Bitcoinized world because citizens can always vote with their wallet or vote with their feet. If you're not treating me well in a certain jurisdiction, I can take my capital and leave very easily, which is, obviously in countries today, a lot of that's inhibited through capital controls and all kinds of other bureaucratic machinations. So all we're talking about here is increasing the individual will to power holds the symbolic structure of government in check, right? It makes it accountable to its P&L and therefore accountable to its customers, which are citizens. That, I would say, is kind of the core problem we have on the fiat standard, is that government doesn't care about its P&L because it can paper over all of its losses by printing new money. That's why we get all these antiquated government organizations that never go away. And if you're not accountable to your P&L as an organization, why do you care about the preferences of your customers? You can just steal from your customers. So this is the problem. This is the human problem right now, is that we have the dominant symbolic structure in the world extracts from us, and we don't have a way to cast, well, pre-Bitcoin, we did not have a way to cast a credible vote of no confidence and say, this doesn't work for me, Uncle Sam. I'm going to do something different. And Bitcoin is an emergent alternative to the whole game, right? It's like the first level playing field we've ever had.